Well, hello again. This is Rob Gearing here from Team Massive Success, Now Lifestyle. And I just wanted to shoot a quick video to talk about what to do when you have somebody in your holding tank. So in our previous video, we talked about choosing which funnel that you're going to use, whether it be the company ones, the Facebook campaign, or the Amazing campaign, or my number one favorite, my custom funnel. So we talked about that in our welcome introductory video. So at that point, we just send people over to MLM leads because we know that's a great, successful way to advertise. And what happens then is ultimately you get leads, you get people who become free customers, and then you have that paid member who comes in. And that's when you have somebody in your holding tank. So this is a good time to talk about what do you do when you have somebody in your holding tank. This could be an exciting time. It can be a little bit of a scary and a tricky time because you don't want to make a mistake here. These placements are very, very critical because as we know from the comp plan in Now Lifestyle, you need to have one person on your left and you need to have one person on your right that are active paying members. So that has to be handled correctly. So what I'm going to do is go into screen share at this point. And we have a guest that joined us, Lydia. Hi, Lydia. And Lydia is going to kind of be our example tonight. Hopefully she's okay with that when it comes to getting placed or being, she's actually going to be the one being placed properly and correctly. So that's my desktop that you see. Let me get over to my browser. And right now I'm logged into Now Lifestyle. I clicked on Reseller Tools. So when you have somebody in your holding tank, when that great exciting thing happens that you have a paid member, you click on, you log in, you go to Reseller Tools, and you scroll down and click on Your Business, which is on the left-hand side, and that'll bring down a few options. I want to check my downline, so I'm going to click on that. So it'll take a second to load. So we'll wait for that to happen. Okay, so that's starting to populate now. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit and see. We're still waiting for the screen to fill in. Okay, so here we go. This is perfect. Okay, so what we're seeing is we're seeing my left-hand side, which starts with Bert Daniels, and my right leg, which starts with Yvonne McDougall. Okay, so the way we look at these lines, one of the lines would be our power line. Now, what the power line means is that's the one that's being built by your upline, by your sponsor. Okay, so that's also known as the power line. The other line would be your personal line. Okay, so those are the two big terms to remember when it comes to the binary matrix and the holding tank. So for me, my left-hand line, which starts with Bert Daniels, that is my building line, and the right-hand side is my power line, which I get a lot of help. I get a lot of help on my power line. I was pretty fortunate and blessed to have a really good placement. So we'll see that as we unfold a couple of things here. But right now what I'm focusing on is adding to my personal line. So I'm going to be working on the left-hand side. But the only way I can do that is I have to expand this a little bit more. Now you're going to find when you're new, it's going to be a little easier because you're going to have less stuff to look at. But when you've been here for a while, you're going to hopefully remember some of these concepts because you may have to wade through things a little bit to get to the right spot. We're always trying to build to the lowest possible point. Lowest possible point. Sometimes that's easy to see, and sometimes that's not. So you really want to expand your full downline tree and actually give you a little search box where you could individually look at a certain person. So if I wanted to drill down on the RSMUTZ one, or on the other side here, the Izzard one right here, R Wizard, I could just put that into the search box right here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click on my full downline tree. And this is going to take a little while to load. There's a lot going on here. So, and I learned a couple of things recently, and I have made a couple mistakes in placement. So I like to take what I learn and put it back in as training for folks. So here we go. So this thing is big, as you can see. So I'm going to move our window over this way. Okay. So I'm going to just move the bar a little bit to the, okay. I can shrink that if I need to, but see, once again, there's Bert. As I said, I'm going to focus on my left leg, my building leg, the one that I'm responsible for, the one that I have to worry about the most. And remember, the matrix bonus qualifier, we didn't talk about that. The matrix bonus qualifier is really simple. You need to have one active paid member that you placed on your left and one active paid member that you placed on your right, and you qualify. So all business then that that you see when you go and check your downline, you're going to get some monetary credit for, and over time that could be a really nice bonus in addition to the commissions that you earn. So what I'm looking at now is I'm going to the very furthest bottom part of my left-hand line. Okay, so, and you see all these empty spots. It's giving me all these various options to place somebody. So all the way at the very bottom. Now I'm very confident. I know what my bottom is on the left-hand side. So it would be Kimberly G. And then I have empty. So if I'm focused on, if my personal building line is my left line, then my placement is left. So I need to go to the left of Kimberly G. Okay. If I was focusing on my right-hand side, which is my power line, and I just needed to get that one, or maybe I want a second person there as a backup, then it would be I would have to find the lowest point on the right-hand side, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and then go to the right of that person at the lowest point. So that's what I call a right placement. But I'm confident where I'm at. I'm going to move our window over here a little bit. Confident where I'm at. So Lydia is going to go to the left of Kimberly G. Okay, so I just mouse over that empty spot right there. I know this is the lowest point in my left-hand line, left-hand side, left. Okay, so all I have to do is click on that empty shell right there. And there it is. There's the ID. Now, if I had multiple in my holding tank, I would have a choice of multiple people. So I always try to do it in order of when they came in fairness, because there is an advantage, potentially there. So to be fair, you go in order. So I'm sure the first would be the most recent. If there was a second one, that would be less recent. Or I guess I should say the older would be at the top, and the newer one would be the newer ones would be down below that first one. So, but I only have to worry about a single one right now. So that would be body fit now, and I'm just going to click on that. And that's going to ask me for confirmation. Am I sure that I want to do that? And yeah, I am sure. I'm very confident in that, because you can't undo it. That's why I'm very nervous when I do these placements. And there it is. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to confirm that that actually worked correctly is I'm going to have to refresh my screen. So I just have to wait for my little window at the top here to go away, which you can't see. If you're watching this recording, you're not seeing. Oh, there it is. It fixed itself. Okay, so now there we go. So all those empties went away, right? Placement done. Left-hand side. It's like a flow chart. There's me. There's my left. Bert leads it off, and then I just go down, and everything's leaning left. If you look at Ralph Martin, he's starting to build his right-hand side. His power line is the left. I'm building that for Ralph, but he's already started his personal building line right here. Okay, so we continue to look, see how everything is just kind of leaning left. You have some offshoots that go right, because again, we have people building. They're following the system, right? They're either grabbing the company funnel or grabbing my custom funnel, getting over to MLM leads and seeing results, right? It's that simple. We could try to say, let's figure it out, or we can say, wait a minute, it's been figured out. Let's just execute the strategy. That's the good news that I'm so excited about. I have it. I have the answer. Okay, so everything's looking good, and as you can see now, it just continues to lean left. And it's really one person after another. So, that's the awesome part of this. There's always somebody helping you build and helping you earn some additional commissions and helping you get to that qualifying point. So that was an easy placement. Now, a complicated placement would be if you have a lot, if you have a power line that's gone really big, right? Again, the power line is the one you're not primarily building. You're only putting one or two people there just to get to satisfy the binary matrix qualifier, right? So right-hand side is my power line, and I have to credit Janet Legier. She does a lot of that building, but some of her great folks also are doing some great things over on that right-hand side that I really don't have to worry too much about. All I do is keep track to make sure that at least I have the one active payer, that they continue to resubscribe and their payment goes through, and it's all good. And I've added a second just to have a backup there. So all I'm doing then is verifying that all my building personally is going to happen, as I said, over on the left-hand side over here. But I want to show you a complicated placement. So if I look at my, I can't decipher the right-hand side. It's so gigantic. It just goes crazy. It goes crazy down, and only goes so far. So what I want to show you is, I want to show you the drill down feature now, okay? Because I've learned who some of my key people are on that right-hand side and how to get down to the bottom quick. So I know that one of the people that I placed on the right-hand side is Daniel, and I know what his ID is. It's PERCIS, Papa. So I'm going to put that into search. And that's going to now eliminate the left-hand side, only show me my right. And it's going to show me from Dan down. Okay, that's a little bit more palatable. So when I was not super clear on this, I thought the bottom would be right here, that it was Jackson 31. Okay, because I want to go right, right. So the furthest right to the right-hand side is Jackson 31. But no, that's not correct. So what I learned was I have to keep going down and looking at who's building. So as I go down, I look at V Sweeting, who has a pretty big organization there. So I'm going to copy that ID and paste that in and drill down to Verlinda. And that'll take a second to go. Now this is only when you get to a point where you need this. This could be something that you don't really encounter, but I want to give you the full training so you know what possible obstacles you may face as your organization gets really big. So Verlinda, as we scroll down to Verlinda, goes down to this point, and again I thought, oh, that's the very bottom. It's Carl 77. No, not correct. So I'm scrolling back up now. It looks to me like Change Life is a builder, because that's the biggest organization now that I see on my screen. So I'm going to put in Change Life. So I've drilled down multiple levels now. Is Change Life the end of the line? And I only discovered this by learning, by trial and error, by really playing. So could that be it right there? Did George Bolt? No, I learned that it wasn't, because Robert Howells still has an organization right here with a left and a couple people to the right. So I'm going to put in Robert's ID. I believe now I've drilled to the bottom. And one of the ways I can tell that I drilled to the bottom of this is when it comes up in a second here. Well, I still have an organization I need to look at. So right now, I would say that Teresa Salen would be my furthest right placement if I was actually going to be placing somebody. But I scroll up and I see the IMAX 1. Now, I think that that's the end of the IMAX 1. That's the end of the line here. But I'm going to put that ID in just to be safe. That's going to be my verification that I reached the bottom. And yes. So I would then be confident to say that would be the furthest right-hand point of my organization. We already know what the furthest left point of my organization is, but this is the furthest right point. And so now I am fully aware of my placements. I know that my focus is on the left, though I may have to come back to the right someday. And if I do, then I'll know how to address it and work with it. And that's it. That's how you qualify for the binary matrix. I'm going to close the tree down if I can. or you know what, I don't think I will. So, but hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is going to go into our training archives. And when somebody says, hey, I don't understand the holding tank, hopefully this will be something that they can refer to that'll be useful. So thank you, Lydia, for being with me tonight. I'll going to check in with you after I stop the recording. And for those watching this, again, I hope it was helpful. And as always, to your massive success. But I do need to stop the share, and I do need to stop the recording. So thank you very much. Have a great night.